gaze upon the annals of time. One thing that comes through, we are not alone in this universe. It's a thought that rings true. Ancient cave dwellers drew spacecraft on the walls. It's a recurring theme. I've seen the same thing while walking late at night, and I know it's not a dream.
From Malmstrom to Manhattan, Boston to LA, there are people asking questions and they will not go away. But what has been seen might not be what it seems. The government's shadows dance in the sea.
If you tell the truth, they will ridicule everything you say and do. It's all part of a deception. It's a puppet master's tool. And I've seen those craft shut down the silos from 10 miles away. And there ain't nothing that the Pentagon can do. They can't make them go away.
From Malmstrom to Manhattan, Boston to LA, there are people asking questions and they will not go away. But what has been seen might not be what it seems. The government's shadows dance in the sea. From Malmstrom to Manhattan, New York to LA, you can't get the picture if they're pale or they're gray. But what we have seen might not be what it seems when the government's shadows dance in the sea.
There are competing agendas to determine mankind's fate. Their influence here for millions of years, all part of a cosmic state. Lemuria, Atlantis, and Dwaka View, all part of Earth's history. And spacecraft and stargates are really nothing new. They're all part of a lost memory.
From Malmstrom to Manhattan, Paris to LA, there are people asking questions and
You can advertise your business on Night Dreams Talk Radio, and you will be heard worldwide. Why not contact us at nightdreamstalkradio@gmail.com.
Do you have a paranormal story you want to share on Night Dreams Talk Radio? You could be a guest. Email us at nightdreamstalkradio@gmail.com.
The views, opinions, and representations expressed on the Night Dreams Talk Radio Network and its website are those of the hosts, guests, and participants, and are not necessarily those of or endorsed by the network, its affiliated stations and broadcasts, the management, other hosts, or advertisers of the network. The shows found on the Night Dreams Talk Radio Network can, but do not necessarily, promote any particular lifestyle, belief, religion, political affiliation, or other personal practice. These shows are for entertainment purposes only and are not intended to treat, diagnose, and or claim any cure of disease or condition or give any medical or legal advice. Coming to you from some far point station, like a cosmic tumbleweed, both north and south of the Pleiades, here's your host, Gary Anderson.
That is me, down at the compound, down at the harbor. I hope everybody had, well, a great weekend. Well, this week is going to be really, really good. We got Tim Swartz on at 7 p.m. tonight. That's an hour away. We're going to be talking about Lieutenant Colonel philip-corso, and we're going to be talking about, well, alien devices that he gave to industry to, well, try to duplicate and get it out into the market to the general public. Anyway, we have James. Are you out there?
Gary, yes, I am. And how are you doing today?
I
Gary?
am doing good. How about yourself?
Not doing too bad at all.
Okay. Well, I'm trying to get your volume up. You have a story to tell us.
Yeah, I got all kinds of stories to tell. Anyway, hey, there was a report on, let's see, October 3rd in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. 4 cigar-shaped UFOs were seen over that area by several people, actually. And I guess it changed different forms, different lights, from red to white, and then it kind of went in and out and went and zapped across the sky a few times. And several people seen this, and that was in the Winston-Salem, North Carolina area.
And they weren't drinking anything or smoking anything?
No. Matter of fact, I think some of the individuals didn't even know each other, just happened to be in the same area on like a campsite, I think.
Oh, you know UFOs don't exist. I mean, come on. All through the thousands of years of time gone by, we just know it's a figment of human imagination. That's all it is. But, you know, some of the big reports, like 1936, for example, in October evening, 2 men were hitchhiking to Anchorage, Alaska, and they witnessed a very bright light approaching their location at very high speed. And then the object hovers right above them, causing them to dive into a major snowbank to escape from that light.
No, phew, that would be scary. I'll tell you one thing about Alaska. There's a lot of people come up missing in Alaska, and a lot of them say it's UFO related. So it makes you want to scratch your head. I'll tell you that.
Or if the bears didn't get them, then the Bigfoot might have got them. Who knows? Or, you know, whatever's out there. Alaska has a lot of wilderness. You know that.
Alaska's like a third of the size of our whole country. So, yeah, there's a lot of, my goodness, there's more animals than there are people up there, like 1,000,000 to 1. It's just so sparse.
Oh, yeah. And, you know, in the 1930s, in the late part of the 1930s, 2 young boys were returning home from their local movie theater. And suddenly, the sky all around them eliminated it, got really bright. And they had to run into an orange grove to take cover of the big, huge UFO that was circling right above them.
Wow. And this was back in the 30s, did you say?
Yeah, back in the 30s. You know, they had UFO reports in the 30s. You know that.
Oh, yeah. I do now. Yeah, of course I know. But the reason I ask is, remember all the recent reports we've been getting about UFOs the size of Walmart and stuff? That sounds like one of them big ones.
You know, it's funny because, you know, when I started in broadcasting back in 76, you know, the reports of UFOs are like, oh, they're about 50 feet, 75 feet, 100 feet diameter. And then it started changing in the late 80s. Now, all of a sudden, they're, you know, triangle, and they're getting huge. And they're, you know, of course, I've had some people claim that they saw UFOs that had windows on it, and they could see aliens just staring at them. I don't know if I buy that one.
Well, you know, funny you mention it. That's what the Barney and Betty Hill said. They claimed they see the aliens in the windows. When that was one of their reports when they seen that ship. Yeah, I don't know. You'd have to be sitting still and you're looking at it. And I got news for you. If you're looking at a UFO and you can see through the portals and see aliens, you're standing around way too long. You need to get out of there. I'm just saying.
Yeah, you know, I don't know. Maybe they got tourists from their planet and their solar system where they can come down and look at us. Maybe we're a zoo. Maybe that's why some of these UFOs have all these windows and they can see these aliens just gawking at us when they come over our house or when you're walking on the side of the road sometime late at night.
That's a good point. You know, another good theory, and I seen this in a movie one time. It was Us from the Future, And we came back with a ship like that, and we was viewing, people would buy a ticket to come back in the past and view like tragedies and certain things, in history that were, tragedies, and view it from the spaceship, which is bizarre, but that's what the movie was about. I guess anything's plausible like that.
Well, it could be, but you never know. I mean, there's been people claiming that they saw aliens looking out the windows, and some of them are long like a cigar, and they have nothing but windows on the side.
That would be freaky to see something like that. It just would. I know the UFO I saw back in July. It was cigar shaped, and it was moving fast, and it was extremely high, and it had to be pretty good size for as high up as it was to be as big as it was in the sky. But I couldn't, it was too high up to see any portals. But I can assure you, if I see an UFO with portals, no, I'm not sticking around. I'm going to move on, hide or something.
Well, if I see a UFO, I'm going to hide anyway. They don't have to have windows. But, in 1965 in New Hampshire, a whole bunch of witnesses, including a police officer, witnessed a disc quite up close, and it moved quickly right above them.
Wow. Now, there's a police officer at SEM. That's like, Lonnie Samora back in, I don't know, in the Southwest there. Sometime he's seen that egg-shaped one out in the desert. And those are always a little more credible when you got police officers or pilots or somebody, I think, that, witnesses this stuff, because they're trained more so in the art of description.
Well, on Eastern Washington, 1994, December 29th, a woman decides to take a shortcut home through a wheat field, and then she sees a web-shaped object with lights heading her direction and then stopping right above her.
That is the classic mistake you don't do in horror movies. You don't take the shortcut home. You think she would learn this, especially across the field in the middle of the night. You're going to encounter, if it wasn't that, it'd been something else. Daggone it. Well, that would be scary, though.
Well, it would be. I mean, I'd be more scared of other things than UFOs, but there's sure a lot of reports. I'm just reading some of the major reports, through the years. I could sit here and do a whole show for 4 hours long and do 2 months worth of UFO reports. That's how many come in each month. It's crazy.
Oh, they do come in a lot. Even I think Washington State, where you're at, has a lot of reports, I think daily almost. Pretty
much. I mean, yeah. And then you got now, though, it's happening, in the Midwest. It's happening on the East Coast. And you know what? Normally, September is when it all dies down, but it's not dying down this year. The reports are just floating in like UFOs.
Right. I often wonder, I don't know if we're getting more reports these days or if it's the same amount of UFOs that are around. It's just that we have a lot more technology, and everybody today's pretty much got a camera in their pocket. And maybe, we're just, because of the totality of everybody having a camera and more people, that we're getting more reports. But I don't know if it's because that they're here more often than they were, say, 30 or 40 years ago. I just think we have more ways to catch them.
I think people are more aware of UFOs now than they ever been. So they notice them more than I think in the past, because you know what? Back a few years ago, people weren't into aliens and UFOs and stuff like that. So, I mean, a UFO could be following them right over their car as they're, traveling somewhere, and they wouldn't even think about looking up. They're more concerned what's in front of their car.
Yeah, that's true, too. And, plus, I think nowadays people are more open to it. You know what I mean? I think they're more open to it. The next generation is more open-minded to UFOs and more out there looking for it than, say, like my grandfather or somebody. They weren't into it or didn't believe in it, or like people do today. They're more accepting of it.
Well, in 1999, February 25th, 14 forestry workers all witnessed a horseshoe-shaped object taking off, and then they found a adult elk that had been mutilated. And then the UFO was gone. It was like it came down and decided to mutilate